Welcome to this free 5-day fertility mindset coaching workshop. My name's Naomi Wolfson. I'm a cognitive hypnotherapist and I specialise in fertility support. This workshop is for you if you want to learn how your thoughts, beliefs and actions can support your fertility journey rather than sabotaging it. This workshop is for you if you want to feel better now, to feel empowered, to feel like you are doing everything you can to support yourself and your dream of becoming a mother. This workshop is for you if you are ready now to decide that you're ready to make a change, one that could really change everything on your journey. This workshop is not for you if you just plan to passively watch and not actually do the tasks that I'm going to set you. Like I said, I want you to actually do everything this week. This workshop is also not for you if you have no intention of really looking at how your mindset is impacting your fertility journey and you're just going to watch the videos and then go back to Googling, how can I get pregnant? So if that's you, so long, this is not for you. Okay, everybody else, let's dive deep into this. So the things I'm sharing are the things that I wish that I'd learned right when I started trying to conceive. Right at the beginning when I felt hopeful and wow, this is going to be it. I'm going to be a mother. It's going to be amazing. Instead of years later when I was experiencing anxiety, panic attacks, insomnia, IBS. We were going through a round of fertility treatment and I started having panic attacks on the London Underground. Just all of the posters and the information that was coming at me was just too much. I could not take any more incoming information. My phone used to ring and I would jump and it would just be like, oh my God, it's someone else asking something of me. I can't do anything else at this point. I was so lucky that my fertility clinic sent me on a mindfulness-based stress reduction course. And what I learned in those sessions in this awful high-rise in Archway in London was that my thinking around infertility and the fact that I was not yet pregnant, that was what was causing my anxiety, my panic attacks, the depression, not the fact that we were having to go through treatment. And that just opened my eyes to how powerful our minds are, how powerful our thoughts are. It really is true that the only thing we experience is our own thinking. We're going to really dive into this week. Maybe this is the first time you've heard this concept. Maybe it just seems really like, oh, what? Or maybe you've heard a little bit and you're kind of like, well, how does that really relate to fertility? We're going to be diving deep into this week. So I invite you to, if you haven't already, after watching this video, read the opening chapter of my upcoming book, Your Fertility, Your Mind and the Science. So I sent that to you as part of your Fertile Thoughts activation pack. So definitely read that. That talks about the studies on how utilizing techniques such as the ones I'm going to share you have such an impact while going through infertility. It talks about the studies that show that a diagnosis of infertility is as stressful and can create depression in the same way as a diagnosis of cancer, HIV, or AIDS. Heart disease, rather. It talks about how practicing mind-body techniques can actually improve your chances of conceiving, can double your chances of conceiving. So I'm so grateful that I am now in a position to share this with others. I left my career in design and I retrained and I started working. I became a fertility coach, fertility therapist while still going through infertility myself. Because what I was sharing was how to feel better in the moment, how to improve your quality of life now while going through it. I got to the point of we went through 4 rounds of treatment. The first rounds, awful. I hated the fact we were having to go through treatment. I hated every single injection, every single blood test, every single visit to the hospital. And then on that 4th round, I'd really put these techniques into play and everything just felt easier, smoother, and just kind of went through. And it was still tough. I still didn't enjoy the injections, for example, but I had techniques to help me and to help through. I got pregnant on that final round, but then miscarried at 8 weeks. And at that point, before miscarrying, I really thought that a miscarriage following infertility was the worst possible thing that could happen to you. I couldn't get my head around how, if you wanted a baby so much, if you got pregnant and then lost it, I was like, I couldn't cope with that. I know I would not be able to cope with that. And then it happened. And actually, instead of falling back into depression and anxiety like I was kind of bracing myself for, I was okay. I allowed myself to grieve. I allowed myself to feel all of the feelings. But I didn't get as low as where I'd been 2 years earlier following a failed treatment cycle. And that just really opened my eyes, reconfirmed to me that it's not what happens to you. It's what you think about what is happening to you, which creates your experience of it. And I took that summer just to be myself, just to allow my body and mind to heal from the miscarriage. And then on the first month of trying, following the miscarriage, 3 months later, I conceived naturally. And this is after being told that conceiving naturally for me and my husband was very, very unlikely. And I was like, oh my God. And then 2 years later, or just under 2 years later, I conceived my daughter, again, naturally. We'll never know if the reason why I got pregnant naturally after 4 years of treatment and tests and surgery is because of the mind-body techniques that I was practicing. We'll never know that. But what I do know is that by practicing those techniques, I found myself again. I got happy again. I felt like myself again. And so I started teaching them. I started sharing them with more and more women who were going through this. And what I found time and time again is that although I can't guarantee that you will get pregnant, I guarantee that you will feel different by practicing these techniques. Very excited to be sharing all of this with you. Thank you for joining me. It's going to be an amazing week. So my intention for you this week is to show up, is to watch the videos, do the homework, ideally come into the Facebook group, which is a private group. No one can see you are a member and only members can see what you post. Come and share your experiences. The beauty of having a community around you of other women trying these techniques out, sharing what they're feeling, is you then go, oh, okay, well, I felt it like this, and I felt it like this, and this happened for me. My intention is that you will experience a shift, no matter how large or small, but a shift in how you feel, be that about yourself, about your body, about your fertility. And is that shift that I'm really interested in, because if you keep doing the same thing, keep thinking the same thoughts, keep showing up with the same beliefs and the same actions, what result do you get? You get the same result. But if there's a shift in your thinking, in your beliefs, in your actions, then there must be change, because you have changed the input, so the output must be different. And that output may just be that you feel better, you feel empowered, you feel stronger, you feel more confident in the decisions that you're making regarding your health and your fertility. It may be that your relationship feels stronger because you feel more sure of yourself and able to open up and ask your partner for the support you need. Let's see. But definitely let me know all the way through this week. So actually, let's just tune in now. How are you feeling right now? I invite you to come and share in the Facebook group after watching this video just how you feel. It can just be a one-liner. I'll put a post up and you can all add comments underneath or do your own post. Introduce yourself and just let us know, where are you? How are you feeling emotionally at the minute? How are you feeling physically at the moment? Come and share. So this week we're going to be shining a light on the thoughts and beliefs that are running through your mind on a daily basis. And we're also going to start playing with the physical, subconscious and energetic levels that are all at play on what creates both your present moment and your future. So while preparing for this workshop, I really wanted to tune in on, who am I doing this for? Why am I doing this? Who am I hoping to be helping by doing this? So I wrote a letter to kind of collective of the women that I've worked with in the past and who I'd like to work with and support in the future. I'm going to read it to you now. I know it hurts. I know you find it hard to breathe sometimes because the thought of not having the child that you long for is just too much to bear. I know that you lie awake at night, desperately trying to work out why you're not getting pregnant and how you can fix it. I know you would do anything, give anything to hold your baby in your arms. You can't understand why this is happening to you. What have you done to deserve this? What did you do wrong? Because this feels like punishment. You feel left behind and empty. Empty womb, empty arms, empty heart. A heart that has so much love to give. You feel like your whole world is closing in on itself and nothing feels real anymore. I know because I have been there. And I'm going to show you how you can change this. I'm going to show you how. I want this week to feel like an embrace, to feel like the safe space you come home to. I am going to share the techniques that are going to soothe and calm and hopefully lift you up and empower you. Throughout the week, I'm going to be talking about why, for so many of you, when I ask when you joined the free Facebook group, what's going on for you? If you could wave a magic wand and change anything, what would you change? And people say the fact that they're struggling with staying positive, trying to relax, feeling hopeful, that they're finding it difficult to cope with the what-ifs and struggling with the fear. This week, I want you to just embrace it all of it. And I know that can feel really overwhelming, but I'm going to show you ways in which you can do that isn't going to flatten you, isn't going to knock you down. Throughout this week, over the 5 days, I'm going to share meditations. I'm going to show you how connecting with yourself and your body is so important when you're wanting to become a mother. How connecting energetically and emotionally to your future actually helps you move towards this point. We're going to be doing exercise on Thursday to uncover beliefs, thoughts, and thought patterns and blocks that may be preventing you from getting pregnant or staying pregnant. And they're going to be teaching you emotional freedom technique, a technique to help you clear those blocks. On Friday, we're going to be doing a guided visualization and really allowing you to step into your future and what it is that you want. So for each day, you're going to need a few things. I'll just tell you that now. So you're going to need a notepad and pen to do the exercise for today. You're going to need, which you can do after watching the video. From tomorrow onwards, bring a notepad and pen with you to the session so you can note things down. On Wednesday, you're going to need a small piece of chocolate or something like a little piece of dried fruit, just something, you just need 2 pieces actually of chocolate. On Thursday, you're going to need a mirror. It can just be like a little handheld mirror, but something you can have with you while you're watching the video or have access to go to a larger mirror. And on Friday, I'm going to be explaining what this box is for and what we're going to put in it. So if you've seen my previous workshops, you will recognize this box. It's a very powerful box. It's a very good box. There's a lot in here. So I'll be explaining that. So let's get into the homework for today. First off, I'm going to teach you some self-soothing techniques. These are acupressure techniques. Acupressure works on the same energetic system as acupuncture, but instead of using needles to stimulate those points, we're just going to use our fingertips and our hands. The reason for using these techniques is to bring our bodies out of stress response and take it into relaxation response, or rest, digest, heal and reproduce. So in the opening chapter of my book, which I have sent to you, I explain about these 2 different systems that we're in and why it is so important while you're trying to conceive to keep bringing yourself back to relaxation response, keep bringing yourself out of stress so that you don't end up experiencing chronic stress, which can then impact your fertility. So, and a note with that actually is it is perfectly possible to get pregnant while you're stressed. It is perfectly possible to have a full pregnancy while you are incredibly stressed. I know because I have worked with clients that have come to me and have got pregnant while being very stressed and are now pregnant and wanting to know how to then deal with the stress as they go through. I have friends who have spent their entire pregnancies completely stressed out to the rafters. It is not that you need to not be stressed in order to get pregnant, because all that does is adds a whole new level of pressure on. The idea is that instead of trying to relax, you learn how to counterbalance the stress. Because if you take away the stress, guess what? You are naturally relaxed. You are naturally back in your default state of rest, digest, heal, and reproduce. That's what we're going to be doing this week. We're not going to be trying to relax, trying to stay positive, trying to believe that it's all going to be okay. I'm going to be teaching you ways to remove the stress. I'm going to be teaching you ways to remove the negativity, teaching you ways that allow your natural hope and positivity to come up. And this is so different to chanting, I am fertile all day long, I am pregnant, I am pregnant, I'm pregnant, I believe like this cycle is going to, it's gonna work. That's the complete opposite of what we want. We don't want you to be in this because look what it does. Your whole body is tense and uncomfortable. What we want is for you to be open and receptive and excited and energized by your fertility rather than held down and pressurized by infertility. Because people are given this label of infertility. I am infertile. And it sucks. And it's completely pointless because you end up kind of owning what I did. I owned this label of being, I'm infertile. Oh. And it's like, that's not helping me, is it? I was infertile. I got pregnant naturally. Like, all the beliefs I had and the crap I had about being infertile, about the fact that we had to have treatment, about the fact that I had to have surgery, all these things that just weighing me down. We're going to be talking about how to release these. So, I'm going to teach you some techniques now. I want you to do these with me. So first off, just tune in to how physically you're feeling in your body. So just close your eyes for a moment. A little breath in through your nose. Just tune in. How do you feel right now? How does it feel to be you in your body? Just notice if there's any tension anywhere. How's your neck feeling? Your shoulders? Your stomach? Your chest? Your throat? And just open your eyes. And rub your hands together. Place one hand on your forehead with your thumb up into your hairline. And just holding your forehead. Then take your other hand again with your thumb on your hairline, but your hand right up into your hair, so cradling the back of your skull. And then just get comfy and close your eyes if you like. And just allow your breath to become deep and soothing. Just being here in this moment. What we're doing by holding these acupressure points on our forehead and the base of our skull is sending the message to our mind and body that we are safe, that we can release all tension from our body, and we can just rest. We can rest in this moment. This one is perfect to do if you're finding it difficult to sleep at night. This one's really good to do if you're stressed out at work. Keep holding on to these positions. So if you noticed how, if you forget something, you kind of clap your hand to your forehead. Oh, I've forgotten it. What is that? This is because our body knows about these acupressure techniques. It knows about these points instinctively. So by holding these points, what we're doing is we're encouraging the blood back into our forebrain. When we're stressed out, blood goes from our forebrain to our limbic brain, our more reptilian brain, in order for us to run or fight, to keep us safe. And what that does, it means we forget things. When we're stressed, we forget things, we forget names, and we feel a bit muddled and overwhelmed. What this does is it brings the blood back to those areas and soothes. So just place your hands down. Close your eyes again for a moment. How different do you feel? Hopefully you've experienced a slight shift. Maybe just feel a little bit calmer, a little bit more present in the moment. Even if it was just by doing that and being like, oh, what are we doing? And this crazy lazy is getting me to do strange things. But you were here, you were doing it. So the next one is known as the self-hug. So what I want you to do is just take one arm, wrap around your body underneath your boobs. If you have boobs, hi to any guys watching. Just assuming everyone's a lady. The boys are welcome too. Get your partner involved. Wrap your arm around so you're holding on to the lower part of your ribs. Other hand on top, wrapping around your elbow. And then just sit holding yourself this way for the next few moments while I'm talking to you. Just hugging yourself, holding yourself. Especially in this time where we're only allowed physical contact with our partners or other members of our household. We are missing out on the physical touch that our bodies need. That they need to self-regulate, to bring ourselves out of stress response. This is why we hug someone if they're feeling sad or mad or angry. A hug. Because a hug touches the body, it releases endorphins, our feel-good hormones. It allows us to just regulate, calm ourselves down. And you can do this for yourself. Keep holding these positions while I'm talking. So when we're feeling stressed out, our arms can automatically kind of raise and our fists can clench. And this is because when we're stressed, we're preparing to run or to fight. So we're like this. So by opening our hands and wrapping them around our body, that in itself is telling your body that there is no danger right now. That it's safe for you to hold your arms in this position. It is also holding acupressure points on your elbows and your rib cage. Again, sending the message to your mind and body that you're safe. You can just relax into this moment. It's okay. You're okay. Right now, you're okay. This one is fantastic to do whenever you're on a Zoom call, whenever you're watching TV, when you're digesting, sat at the table or on your sofa. It's really, really nice one. You cannot do this enough. And it may feel strange to start with to hold these points, but once you get used to it, you will naturally start to give yourself a little hug. You can do it either hand, so you can switch the position and wrapping your arms. So it's like you kind of fold your arm on, wrap it around, and wrap around again, and just squeeze just gently. You can even say to yourself, I am okay. Okay. I'm okay. Just soothing yourself, especially with everything that's going on right now. We all need soothing. We all need comfort. We all need an embrace like this. So that's the self-hug. Your homework is to do this every day for the next 5 days for at least a couple of minutes. Could be a bit longer. So do it at some point tonight after your tea or while you're watching telly. And then again, at least once a day over the course of this week. The next acupressure technique I'm going to teach you is known as the fear point. So on the back of your hand, between your ring finger and your little finger, just follow this valley down on the back of your hand and just tap or rub in that point. And you can do that, you just rest your hands down, but just tapping there. This point has been shown that by stimulating this point, we're actually affecting the amygdala in the brain. The amygdala is the area that controls our fear response. So by tapping here, we are literally saying to the brain, calm the fuck down, love. Just calm right down. This one is obviously then fantastic to do before your shots, before your blood tests, before your appointments, before making big conversations, when you need to talk to your partner about something uncomfortable. Just tapping or rubbing there. And while you do so, just allowing your breathing to calm, to soothing, calming. And with this point, so later in the week, I'm going to be teaching you emotional freedom technique, the full technique of how to clear fears, clear beliefs, clear negative emotions. It's called emotional freedom technique because we're literally giving ourselves freedom from the emotions that we do not wish to be experiencing. I love it. It is so, so powerful and so, so bizarre, really, really fun to teach and to do. So this is sort of a little taster of that technique, but on Thursday I'll be teaching you the full technique and I'll be giving you a worksheet with all the information and a standalone video so you can keep practicing that ongoing after these 5 days. So one of the other points from that is the collarbone point. So just go where your collarbones end, drop an inch below, and then anywhere on that line where you'd knot a tie, just gently but quite firmly tapping on that point. This is known as the collarbone point, and this just helps center you back to yourself. So whenever you're feeling, you know, like if you feel that sort of overwhelm, it feels like a kind of wave is coming up, you're like, oh my God. Bringing yourself back to center. And again, this is something you could do like while on the phone, while chatting to someone, while working. Just centering yourself, bringing yourself back to you. Okay, so just tune in with how you're feeling about those points. Maybe you're thinking, a bit strange. Maybe you're feeling a little bit calmer. Maybe you're feeling, that's interesting, like I've just tapped on my body a few times and my stress level seems to have dipped a little. With each of these techniques, the more you practice them, the more powerful they become. So for me, doing this is now an anchor. It is a trigger for me to slow my breathing. It's almost impossible for me to do this without taking that breath because I have trained my mind and body to do that. Yeah, I can't do it without there being a slightly deeper inhale of breath. Wasn't even aware of that before saying it. Love it. So with each of these, the more you practice them, the more powerful they are going to become for you. Yes. So those are the techniques. So we had the head hold, and it's ideally, if you've got quite thick hair, do it like this. So it's the forehead hold, the self-hug, the fear point on the back of the hand, and the collarbone point. So you've got those 4 points. What I want you to do is start using those throughout this week. So maybe do this one as you're falling asleep at night. Just do it for a couple of minutes to calm yourself down, to clear your head. You could maybe do this one when you first wake up, just to bring yourself into what you need to do for the day. You could do the self-hug while you're watching the TV or scrolling. Could you scroll? No, you can't really scroll social media. It needs to be while you're like passively, you could be doing it. So yes, you could do this whenever you're watching these videos, for example. Okay, so your other homework following today is to listen to your Fertile Thoughts Reset MP3, the one that I've already sent you, which is 3 minutes 23 seconds long. It is tiny. The reason it is that length is because it takes a full 3 minutes for our body to come out of stress response back into relaxation response. It takes a split second like that to go into stress response, but 3 minutes to come out of stress and back to calm. So it's just under 3.5 minutes to give you time to allow your body to do that and start reaping the benefits. What I want you to do is to listen to that 3.5 minute MP3 straight after watching this video. So when this ends, I want you to go straight into your email, click on that link. Ideally, download it onto your phone. So it is there, it's super quick, you don't need Wi-Fi to access it, it's just there in your music file. What I want you to do is, listen to it then, and then every day for the next 5 days, I want you to listen to it twice. Once as soon as you wake up in the morning. So the first thing you're going to do, instead of scrolling social, instead of checking your emails, whatever it is you do, you are going to wake up, you are going to press play on that MP3 and listen to it for 3 minutes 23 seconds. So you are starting your day in a different way. So like I was talking about, you do different things, you get different results. This is one of those things. So you wake up, you listen to that MP3 straight away. Let's grab a drink. Okay, so in that MP3, if you haven't already listened to it, that's fine. At the beginning, I ask you to put your hands into fists, and I count you down 5 to 1, opening your fist. This is a technique whenever you're feeling stressed in the future, you can then do that. By doing it, by listening to the MP3, especially when it's first thing in the morning, you are then creating that as an anchor for relaxation. So you wake up and you're in this kind of in-between state of unconsciousness and consciousness. Listening to that MP3 then, you're triggering your body that when you listen to it, you go back into that floaty state. So listen to it first thing when you wake up. So we do this at the beginning of the MP3. It's then full of powerful hypnotic suggestions, neuro-linguistic languaging, cognitive behavioral techniques, and mindfulness. The reason why I've done this is I love mindfulness, and that was the first that was like my gateway into learning about mind-body tools. But for a lot of the women I work for, mindfulness, meditation is just, it's not even touching the surface. They're so beyond that point and so into the anxiety or repetitive negative thinking that trying to clear their mind with meditation is just too much of a stretch at the moment. So by adding the hypnotherapy, the NLP, neuro-linguistic programming, the CBT, cognitive behavioral techniques, EFT, emotional freedom techniques, what we're doing is using very powerful techniques that are bypassing your conscious mind, directly accessing your subconscious mind where the actual transformation happens, and having a powerful impact on you in that way. Mindfulness I really recommend, and that is part of part of what I teach, but it's not everything, because for me, it didn't work. I needed more. I needed techniques to use alongside the sitting and coming into the present moment. But my anxiety and my repetitive negative thinking and the panic attacks were too much for mindfulness alone to be helping me there. So this is why I combine mindfulness with a whole range of other beautiful, powerful techniques. So yes, you're going to listen to the MP3. Within there is a line that says, your body is designed to get pregnant. And it talks about being fertile. This may, for some of you, be difficult to listen to, especially if you physically can't get pregnant naturally. Maybe that's, you don't have clear pipes, or maybe you are pursuing surrogacy or donor eggs, or even looking into adoption or the next steps down the line. That is absolutely fine. I invite you to still listen to that and really just tune in with, like, what if my body could get pregnant? What would that feel like? What if my fertility isn't just about the function of my womb and my ovaries? What if my fertility was about me as a woman, about everything I can create, rather than it just being about creating eggs? So I invite you to keep listening, and the more you listen to this, the easier it will become to listen to as well. So yes, I want you to listen to the MP3 when you first wake up in the morning, and then one other time throughout the day. That can be whenever you like, so before lunch, after lunch, before you go to sleep at night. Whenever you like, be a first thing in the morning, definitely, and then at some other point. So I'm basically asking you to commit to 7 minutes of just sitting and listening to an MP3. Can you do that? Fantastic. It's gonna make a difference. Trust me. So just 7 minutes commitment. Do it every single day this week. Okay. So the next thing is your heart anchor video. Also sent this to you when you signed up. If you've been on my mailing list for a while, then you would have received it a few months back, but I'm sending out again alongside this video. If you haven't watched it in the last 7 days, so even if you did it over a week ago, I want you to re-watch it, ideally after watching this video or at some point this evening. And I want you to really tune in, because the point of that video is to get your mind to start searching for the good in your life. Our reticular activating system, our RAS, is constantly looking for what we're focusing on. So when we are focused on anxiety and infertility and the struggle and the negative in our lives, our reticular activating system goes, oh right, that's the game we're playing, right, okay, that's shit, that's shit, that's shit. That's the opposite of what we want you to be doing. What I want you to be doing is training your mind that every day you're going, okay, what am I grateful for? Oh, that's nice. That's nice. Oh, that's check your phone, get a nice message on. Oh, that's nice. And what you're doing is you're creating this strong anchor. So if you haven't watched the video yet, don't worry, this will all make sense. But basically the whole point of a gratitude practice is that you're training your mind to look for things to be grateful for. So I want you to watch the video, and then every evening just before falling asleep, or at some point in the evening, I want you to write down 3 things that you are grateful for. Ideally, come and share in the Embrace Fertility support group, or come and tag me on Instagram and share the things. So it's really nice if it's something you can physically take a photo of, great. If not, just a written word, so write in your on a piece of paper and journal, take a photo, write in notes on your phone, or just do it as a post on the Facebook group, and just use the hashtag gratitude. So the reason we're doing this every day for the next 5 days is that by setting you the homework of every single day, I want you to share 3 things that you're grateful for. By sharing it publicly in the group, or on Instagram, or just emailing me, it's then the next day that you know you have that homework of you need to tell me 3 things you're grateful for. So all day you're going to be going, I need 3 things, need 3 things, I need 3 things. I can be grateful for this. Then you're using the heart anchor technique. So I'm really grateful for dark chocolate. Whoever invented dark chocolate was a friggin' genii. Oh yeah. By holding your hand on your heart, what you are doing is creating that connection. So then when you're listening to your 3-minute MP3, placing your hand on your heart, guess what happens? Those feelings of gratitude flood through your body. They come up. So whenever you do this then, so again for me, I place my hand on my heart, my breathing gets deeper and I get that little tingles of, life is good. Life is good. Training, rewiring. We are changing your mind, your body. We're physically changing you throughout this week. We're not just pissing around with mindset. Mindset is like the top layer. There is the conscious, there is subconscious, the physical, the energetic. I work with all 4 because if you're just up here on mindset and you're doing a bit of meditation and you're not, that's just 5% of what's going on. 95% of your thoughts are subconscious, are unconscious thoughts. And then there's the physical and then there's energetic that we're going to get into a bit later in the week. But do you see there's all these different things, and what I want to be doing is changing your body physically. When you place your hand on your heart, you feel good. Because it is possible to do this, and it is so exciting and it is so powerful. So, I think that is everything. Let's double check. Yes. So your homework is to watch the heart anchor video again if you haven't done so in the past 7 days. Listen to your Fertile Thoughts reset button at least once today and then twice every day for the rest of the week. Once when you first wake up in the morning and then at some other point during the day. Yes, one other thing I forgot. In the reset MP3, I ask you to breathe in and out through your mouth. So to do this, what I want you to do is called golden breath breathing. So if you imagine like you're sucking your breath in like a straw or like a golden thread, and then when you breathe out, it's like this golden thread. So pulling the air all the way back to the back of your throat, and then breathing out. So literally like a straw. And you notice then I was breathing in and I kept going until I felt like it was becoming a strain, that I couldn't do it anymore. And then there was a pause before I started breathing out. That pause is beautiful. That pause is where there is that moment where you are just completely in the present moment. So that's the breathing I would like you to do while listening to the reset button MP3. And yes, so bring a notepad and pen tomorrow, or if you like the word journal, bring your journal. For tomorrow, if you're not a journal person, just notepad. It just means paper. It's just paper. It's fine. It's going to be good. I am really looking forward to getting to know all of you in the Facebook group. Please do come and join. Feel free just to join just for the next 5 days. See if you like it. You can switch on notifications so that you're getting the information. So the videos each day are going to be in the Facebook group as well as coming to your inbox. Really excited to share all this with you. I will see you tomorrow.